Yo, these New York niggas is trash. Trash. Don't fuck with these niggas. Horrible. Horrible.
Stay the fuck away from us then, Missy Elliott. Fuck.
Do you know what I'm realising about men that I actually think is really cute? Like, as men get older, they become really, really simple. And I don't even mean that in a horrible way or a nasty way. I mean, like, in a really cute way. Like, all you guys really want to do is, like, eat some good food, play some kind of, like, gaming software, like your PlayStations or your Xbox, whatever, and sleep. I feel like if you had those three things, of course, obviously, like, making love in it. You guys, obviously, you like a bit of hanky-panky in it. That's four things you guys probably want out of life. I don't even think you want us there half the time. I just think you just want a little bit of, like, affection now and again. But I think you could happily survive without us.
I broke up with my ex of 3 years and everything was cool. My 1 week situationship has me blowing snot bubbles on my knees, like praying to God.
I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I've got to talk about it, and that's just, it is what it is. I might be separating from my partner. I also have fallen in love with somebody else while being in love with my partner. However, that is not the reason that we might be separating. The reason that we might be separating is because I've discovered that I am polyamorous, and my partner might not be.
For all you guys that are single right now, this is just proof that it could be worse. You could be married for years in this relationship where you both thought that you were fulfilled. You have children, you start a family, and then something like that just changes within her and she discovers something big like this. I don't know. I think that sounds like a nightmare to most men. Unfortunately, it sounds like this man wanted it to work out, so he found some in between to where it could be a casual kind of thing where they both do things casually with other people. She apparently discovers that she wants more with something that she started off as casual, but now is much more than that. This is why, guys, I'm a strong believer that this sort of relationship dynamic does not work. And I understand for you guys, you might have a hard time understanding that because you view being intimate a little bit differently than women do. Women need that emotional connection and they make emotional connection when they're intimate. They can't handle this, but I'm also not for the whole one-sided thing where because men can handle it, it should be okay. That's not okay either in my book.
Somebody in the comments here said they used to call it adultery. Somebody else said polyamorous translation. I want to be promiscuous. I just say it like that.
Your husband should be helping you more. He should be cooking, cleaning, vacuuming, taking out the garbage. My husband's only job is to eat this cat and pay the bills. And he does them both very well. We're good.
So today we have the top things men don't care about. Because women today have seemed to have gotten this confused. So let's get into it. Also, these are in no particular order. Number one, materialistic belongings. We don't give a fuck about your Birkin, or your Gucci bag, or your fucking sandals, or your dress. None of that. We don't care. Doesn't make you any more attractive, or really any less attractive. Number two, how much money you make. That has no bearing on your attractiveness to any man. Unless they're a bum. Because why would we care how much money you make if it ain't being used on us? Number three, your career. Now, if you're passionate about something, that's great. You know, it'd be great to not talk to a woman that's a fucking complete bum. But it does not make you any more attractive. Just because you got a doctorate and a fucking master's degree. No guy ever said, holy shit, dude. She's got a master's degree. That's hot as fuck. No guy ever said that. Ever. And last but not least, your lashes, lips, and nails. You do this for other women. Never once have I heard a guy say, holy shit, dude. Like, she's pretty hot, but she'd be a lot hotter if her lips were ginormous. She'd be a lot hotter if her nails were painted pink instead of blue. She'd be a lot hotter if her eyelashes extended 15 feet off her face. No guy ever said that. Okay? So get it through your head that we don't give a fuck about any of these things. Stay tuned for the top things that guys do care about. That's coming to you next. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk today. I'll see you again tomorrow.
The topic of good guys finish last come up. I fear that the shallow reasons are always being put to the forefront. We're not actually breaking it down as to why they finish last. In this specific video, I'm going to talk about how a lot of good guys lead with approval and not conviction. A lot of good guys don't lead with a grounded leadership. They lead with accommodation. They lead with whatever you need in that moment, even if it may not be good for you. The thing with us women is like, we like to feel like the man we're with is strong. Not to say that he can't break down or be vulnerable, but he's not optional. He doesn't treat himself like a backup option. As women, we like to feel safe, guarded, and sure. We like that assurity. And I fear that a lot of these guys who are the typical good guys don't carry that within themselves.
I agree with what you're saying here, but I think I would like if women would help out in that process. A lot of times, I mean, this sounds great, but then women don't help. It's more the same, putting it back on the man and putting it completely and totally on the man. Well, you're doing this instead of that. You need to be doing this instead of that. You got to help him. Most men don't know how to be leaders. Like, I know how to say, okay, this is what I would do, but I'm not by myself anymore. And I know that I want to do things for the person that I love, whatever they want. So when you tell me, hey, this is what I want to go get that for you. I want to do that for you, right? But when a man is making a decision, then he needs your support to say, yeah, we're going the right way. Or whenever we don't go the right way, say, hey, I'm still rocking with you. What I would do is X, Y, and Z. Because he's going to ask you, so what do you think? What would you do in this situation? Well, I would do X, Y, and Z. Okay, bet. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see if that works. Right? You can't. Here's what some of these ladies are trying to do. They're trying to step back and once again put all of the pressure to lead the family on the man. And then they get mad when something doesn't go right. You've got to start helping the man be that leader that you want. He's going to be unsure of himself sometimes. So you got to start helping him to get that conviction, to get that approval. Anybody, anywhere, whether you're a man or a woman, if you're not getting the approval of somebody, somewhere, if you don't have a support system, a backbone, it's going to be hard for you to keep doing what you're doing because you're unsure. Nobody's saying, hey, you're going in the right direction in general. You don't have to be babysat. You don't have to be coddled. Just, let me know if I'm going in the right direction in general. That's why I love to hear older gentlemen, older guys say, hey, I see you, young man. Go ahead, keep doing your thing. Right? They don't sit down and give you a lecture all the time unless you ask them. Now, sometimes they will, but they'll say, I see you doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. I think I actually had a woman, one of the older ladies in my life, call me, she called me one day and she just talking about something. She just talking about something random. It wasn't even a conversation. But I think like an hour into it, I was like, man, when we gonna get off the phone? And I'm serious. Just being honest with you. It's like, when we gonna get off the phone? She wanted to confirm some things with me. We confirmed. And we just kept talking. And really, she just kept talking. And so she finally said, I don't even know why the conversation took this turn. I just, wanted to tell you, keep on doing what you're doing. People are trying to throw you off track. People are trying to distract you. People are trying to hold you back. And she actually got emotional. And she said, I just want to tell you, keep doing what you're doing. And it's all going to work out. And that was encouraging to me. That was really encouraging to me because, I had been facing that. I had people, just kind of trying to turn me away from what I was doing and, oh, don't do this, don't do that. And I was like, man, I know maybe I'm not right about everything, but maybe I got a point. I mean, do I at least got a point? And the people that I was talking to at the time wouldn't concede ground. They wouldn't give me anything. Like I would be like, oh, well, what about this? Do you at least agree with this? No, you're completely wrong. What? And I'd be like, man, I know I'm not going crazy. I told him right then and there, you know what? I'm going to go home and talk to my dad. I'm going to go talk to my dad. He going to get me right. He going to get me straight. When I get back home, I'm going to talk to my dad. He going to tell me what I did wrong. And he going to tell me what I did right. You know what I mean? And I got to be willing to take whatever it is that I didn't do right. But he going to tell me exactly what I need to do next time. And I had a conversation with him, and he did. And once again, I appreciate that. So you got a North Star. And that's essentially what I'm saying. We can give all of this, oh, he didn't do this and he didn't do that. But men have to have some sort of support. They have to have some sort of backing from somebody in their life.
Instead of congratulating women for laying on their backs and getting pregnant,
ooh, this ought to be good.
It's such a great thing in life. Instead of congratulating them, can we start booing these ladies?
Oh, booing women for getting pregnant now. I wonder what the overall goal there is.
Like, maybe it'll make women change their mind.
Change their mind? I wonder if they realize only the fragile and weak-minded succumb to peer pressure like that, but I'm sure they have more to say.
Like, it's like they've made such a big accomplishment in life and they've done the easiest thing possible, which is to lay on their backs and let a man breathe heavy on top of them and pound them like they're some type of donkey.
Oh, well, aren't they painting a pretty picture?
Maybe we all collectively should just come together in the comments and start booing them, like, boo. Like, can we just do that, please?
No, I'm all for freedom of choice when it comes to whether or not a person wants to be a parent or not. And I fully support either decision. However, when it comes to someone trying to shame another person into not having children, well, it's probably best that that person does remain celibate. It does the gene pool a great favor.
There's one thing I find hilarious is how many OF creators are coming at Camilla for selling a course and being like, she's a scam, she's a scam. OF industry is a scam. You're pretending you like these guys, or you're interested in old men, or you're interested in these guys so that they pay you. You ruin families, you ruin homes, you ruin childhoods, and yet you're trying to be all ethical because you don't sell a course. You're just as bad. Stop hating on somebody who's trying to come out of the industry, even if she's whatever she's doing. Who cares? You're just as bad.
Somebody in the comments, a dude here in the comments says, who's Camilla? I got the same question. Who are we talking about? Which one of them are we talking about? I'm assuming she's popular if we mention her name. Who is she?
Womansplaining Men to Women, episode 128, I think. If there's one thing I've learned about men and women during the holidays, it is that women do not want their men home. If you're a dude and you take 2 weeks off work without telling your wife, you might as well just slap her right across the face, I guess, because they are not used to it. It just throws them right off. I've been seeing a lot of posts like this. My husband has been off work since the 24th and I haven't unalived him. Please clap for me. And these posts tend to be super relatable, with women agreeing that they do not want their husbands home this long. This woman actually feels a similar joy leaving the house because her husband is home all the time on long-term disability. And what's really interesting about this post is that when people ask if he's lazy or needs more work to do, while he's on vacation, she actually says that he's not lazy and has done every chore she's asked of him. She just still doesn't want to be around him. And holy shit, ladies, this is a huge problem because I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but a man can't work forever, and neither can you. Eventually, you'll both have to retire, and when you do that, you'll have to live together and spend time together and grow into old age together, and you'll have to do that without committing spousal homicide. In fact, these will be the years you need each other most to survive. So this is your trial by fire. This is how you learn to do just that. There's a scene in Bruce Almighty, it might have been Evan Almighty, where God says that if you pray for patience, he doesn't give you patience. He gives you an opportunity to be patient. You are never going to be just handed a person who never annoys you and knows everything you want. But surely what you do know is why you married this person, right? So why did we forget that just because you took a couple weeks off? Listen, of course this is going to be a change to your routine and might throw you off a little bit, but I am begging you to try and see how special this is to him and your kids if you have them, and try not to focus on what could go wrong or how he could mess things up. He's been looking forward to this time with you and to be at home and not working for so long. And I'm going to say something else that you don't want to hear. He's also been looking forward to doing nothing. He really just wants to use some of his vacation time for nothing. In fact, everyone deserves some time for nothing. Look, you married him for him, right? Not for the time that he's gone. And it would just mean the world to him if you made him feel that way.
Sis, you need to go 50-50 with that man. Huh? Now, I know you have been trained, brainwashed, and conditioned to believe that going 50-50 with a man is the last thing you should want to do. But hear me out. I just got a different perspective that I want to share. Okay? There is nothing wrong at all with a man providing everything financially. Nothing wrong. But you understand that there are some incredible men out there that may not be able to do 100%, but they may be able to do 75, 65, 50. Now, in my opinion, as long as that man is at least carrying his weight, he is an addition to your life. Because hear me out. I know y'all keep screaming to the rooftops that I'd rather pay 100% by myself and have my peace than to pay 50% and live with a man who is cheating. But I want you to ask, why was that man cheating? There are some that are going to cheat just because they cheat, right? But there are some men that feel unappreciated. There are some men that feel unseen, unloved, uncared for. There are some men that will stay and pay their 50% because they don't want to leave you out in the cold, because he know you can't pay it by yourself for real. So instead, he will go and find what he is lacking from that current relationship. Am I saying that that's okay? No. But I am asking us ladies to really check ourselves. Did you stop having conversations with this man? Did you stop caring about what his favorite meal was? Did you stop caring about whether or not he had attention? You know what I mean? Did you stop caring about the things that he loved about you being his woman because you were going 50-50 and you felt like you no longer had to because y'all are roommates? If you started treating him like the roommate and he went out and found what the roommate wasn't willing to give, don't we have to take some of the responsibility? Huh?
Things that men do that are gay. There is something about a man not carrying cash that doesn't sit right with my soul. Because, like, what do you mean you only got credit cards? What do you mean you only have cards? Absolutely not. You don't got no hundreds, no 50s, no 20s. The fuck? Going 50-50? Absolutely all the way gay. You can't get out of that one. There's no wiggle room on that. Gay. 50-50. Are you a man or a bitch? Gay. A man thirst trapping on IG, posting bikini pics, flexing his abs, absolutely gay. That's not up for debate or discussion. Flexing. What? Girls don't like that. Like, literally, girls don't like that. So who are you doing it for? Okay. A man telling me I'm pathetic for wanting money from him? Gay. What else should I want from you, brother? Like, literally, what else are you offering? Confused. A man telling me to come meet him? Come meet you where? How am I getting there? What do you mean I'm coming to you? You want me to trek across the city, princess? Absolutely not. Send the car. Send the vehicle. Gay. Literally so gay. So gay. So gay.
I am married to a blue-collar man. I don't think women realize how powerful they truly are. Let's paint a picture. You're married to a man in the trades. He gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning, rolls out of bed, you kiss him goodbye. He drives to work, has a shit day at work. He works a 14-hour day. He comes home, he walks in the door, and you immediately bombard him with a list of things that you need him to do before he even gets a chance to take his boots off. He looks at you. He doesn't say a word because he's trying so hard to keep it together. His boss pissed him off. His coworkers pissed him off. It was a bad day. Traffic on the highway was horrible. He does the things that you want him to do. Well, dinner is made. The house is a mess. Yes, she could have had a bad day. I'm not saying that. Just listen. He's probably going to go to bed and hate waking up the next morning because he has to do it all again. Let's change this up. He wakes up at 4 a.m. You make his breakfast. You tell your husband that you appreciate him. You tell him he looks really, really good in those work pants. You kiss him goodbye. Your husband is thinking about the compliment you gave him. He's thinking about the breakfast you made him. He's thinking about, man, my wife, she told me she appreciates me. But he walks out the door with a smile on his face. Your husband comes home. You greet him at the door with a smile. Dinner's ready. He takes a shower. He eats dinner with you. And you just listen to his day. Yes, there could be so many different things that would make a wife's day absolute shit. That's not the point of this video, so don't give me those comments. The amount of power that women hold is unmatched. Your tone of voice, your body language, the way that you talk to your husband can literally hold so much power. It'll change his entire day because he will go to bed feeling appreciated. by the woman that loves him. Women truly have no idea how much power they truly have.
And we talk about all the time, or a lot of times, there's a lot of women out there that talk about if a man gets emotional and he breaks down, it overloads her. But we kind of really don't speak about this portion of it, where a man gets overwhelmed when he gets home. I know you probably don't think that it's overwhelming to him, but he's just come from solving a lot of problems. That's why a lot of people get paid. That when you solve like a lot of problems, people are going to start to pay you, right? So that's why they say in business, find a problem to solve it. It can be simple, it can be complex, solve it, and then people are going to pay you for you solving that problem. They're going to pay you for the answer, right? So if the man has been doing that all day, that's a lot. First of all, if he's doing that with his brain, then he's probably mentally tired. But then if he's also having to go and do that with his body, then he's also physically tired. And now he's got to come home and listen to you for the next 2 or 3 hours. Maybe not 2 or 3 hours straight, but consistently throughout the time. When he might be having dinner, here you come complaining for about 5 minutes. All right. So then you guys get up and you're watching TV together, and you start in the middle of a show when he's just starting to relax, complaining again. Now it's another problem that you're talking about, right? Now you're done with that. Okay. And when y'all are in the bed trying to get ready to go to bed, or maybe you're putting the kids down, you're going to put the kids down and you mention something else. That's a complaint. You know what I mean? And then maybe he's in there taking a shower for about 5 or 10 minutes. Then you come in there just sitting on the toilet, just, kind of sitting there talking to him, sitting there complaining about it. And then when y'all are laying in bed, maybe you're watching TV, maybe he's reading a book or something like that before bed, you have another complaint. So it's constant. It's always good, like at some point in time, and then you do that over a period of days or weeks or months, and in some cases years. The man's gonna be like, dang, is there ever anything that goes well? Do you ever have a good day? And then when he says that, you're gonna get mad at him because he's being rude and insensitive, not understanding that you were being rude and insensitive first. My dad used to say, is there ever... We would get in the car after school, and all three of us, well, I mean, maybe not all three of us, but there would be one of us that start complaining about something, and then usually a combination of one of us would chime in. It'd be two of us complaining. And so my dad, who was in sales, right? He was in sales, and so he always talked about the power of positive thinking. I got to get out here and I'm making a sale. You go through so many no's to get a yes, yada, yada, yada. And he was making it happen. He had his own business, had his own office. He was doing fantastic. You know what I mean? One time my mom, they were looking at a house, and he was like, man, I don't know if I can get this. And my mom was like, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. And he proceeded to go out there and do it, right? He proceeded to go out there, work, bust his behind, and do it. And say, yeah, you can. So he did it. Went out there and got it. Okay? That's the power of positive thinking. So imagine a man that can do that. And I think it was it was a huge house. I hated that yard. Just by the way. I hated it. What was it? Like a pretty good size, a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath or something like that. That yard was never ending. And it was 3 of us to cut it. My dad used to cut it on his own. And then we got old enough, we had to cut it. I mean, 4 sides. And the yard was never ending. And that was just one side of the house with a push mower. Even with a riding mower. It was ridiculous. Especially in the hot sun. No, forget about it. That's enough of me complaining. My point is, we would get in a car complaining, and my dad would be like, after like 5 minutes, is there anything that happened great today? Is there anything that happened good today? and And that's kind of how men get, you know, when they hear you complaining and nagging all the time. It just wears them down, because it's goodness. Like I go to work, I got to hear people moaning and complaining about what's not being done, what I'm not doing right, even though I just made the company a huge amount of money, and now I got to come home and listen to you and sometimes listen to the kids. When does it ever stop? When do I get peace? Men do get tired of that.
Men, if you're out shopping for anything and you see a woman that just keeps popping up, she's not just popping up for no reason. That girl is stalking you. She is hoping to God that you will say something. She's attracted to you. Say hi.
He probably doesn't care because, for one, he's not shopping for a girlfriend. He's literally shopping for something else, and he's just busy trying to find that something else, and then he wants to get out of there. Two, if you're the one interested in him and you can't even just say hi, because you could literally say anything to a man to show that you're interested in him and to start a conversation. But the fact that you can't do that, it doesn't bode well for a potential relationship where you're unable to communicate things to him. He would rather cross out that potential relationship. Lastly, 3, he's not falling for it. He does not believe you. He has been trained to believe in, quite honestly, the opposite, that women are not interested in him, because he doesn't want to fall into the trap of misinterpreting a woman's actions and thinking that she's interested in him when she isn't. And then he could be labeled a creep, which is interesting because it's her that's the stalker, not him.
The tongue and finger combo is the best way to flip the page in any book.
Men melt when women are vulnerable with them. But most women are not ready to hear that. You really think your man wants a strong, independent boss babe that takes charge 24/7? If he wanted another alpha in the house, he would have married a man. Women think vulnerability is weakness, but it's actually the opposite. A woman's vulnerability is her power, her femininity, not trying to act like a man. When you try to handle everything on your own, solve all of the problems, control everything, you make him shut off his instinct to protect and lead and care for you. That's why so many women catch themselves saying, "He never does anything for me." It's because they won't let him. Show vulnerability, show softness, be open to receive, and just watch how fast he rises up to care for you. If you want to learn how to lean into your feminine energy so your man naturally provides, protects, and cherishes you, that's exactly what I teach inside the Feminine Reset course. Click the link in my bio for access.
Everybody's talking about Christy Sarah and her divorce. You might want to grab a snack. This is going to be a long one. If you want to hear me talk really fast, just X to the speed right here. Now, the facts on their relationship is that they met at 14. They got married. They have 2 kids. He is a chef and she is a full-time content creator. This woman has literally on one platform alone, basically 10 million followers. I can tell you something right now. She makes a dumb amount of money with her engagement. It's also not about the amount of followers. She's got both. My point is, when they started dating, there was no way that he knew that she was going to become the breadwinner. In a relationship, as a man, when your wife starts to make a lot more money than you, it demasculates you. It doesn't matter how great of a relationship it is, how long you guys have been together. The man starts to feel like he is in his feminine. He starts to feel less than. He starts to resent you. Not only that, but her content relied on him being in it most of the time. Now, I don't know how their payout structure works, but I don't think she was paying him to be in the content. And even if she was, he probably felt weird getting money from his wife. And if she wasn't paying him to be in the videos and she was making all this money, then he probably resented her for it. My point is, this is a lose-lose situation. Now, I read in the article that in 2025, they really tried to make the relationship work. And in the end, he was like, I think we should go our separate ways. And he started seeing someone. I don't think they were legally divorced when he started to see someone, but he did mention that they were separated. Does it make it right? No. But he wasn't fully in the wrong. But the reason why he started seeing someone else was because he felt demasculated in that relationship. So he probably started to entertain someone that was nowhere near as successful or well-known as his wife. Not to say that as a woman, you should go date a man that is way more famous than you or just makes a lot more money than you, because I promise that dynamic doesn't work as well. What's really messy about success is the men that have a lot of success, they tend to not want to settle down, or if they're in the limelight, they're used to getting all this attention, so they have trouble staying faithful and committed. As a woman, when you become famous and successful, a lot of men will start to feel less than, and it becomes very hard to date. And what also doesn't help this dynamic is the fact that they were together from 14. There's a lot of growth as a teenager into your 20s, because like I said, relationships in the limelight generally don't work. Whether you are the person or they are the person person in the limelight. It doesn't work. And as you guys have seen, a lot of celebrity couples, they don't end up working out in the long run. And the ones that do are very rare. There is an even playing field. Anyways, leave a comment for part 2. Bye.
I mean, I feel like, well, first of all, he made an official statement. He said, hey, I apologize basically for everybody that this affected. You know, Christy, first of all, Christy's beautiful. We know that. Desmond ain't no slouch either. I think Desmond's pretty tall, good looking fella. Desmond, if he wants to, he'll be all right. I think in his official statement, he did actually say towards the end of 2025, I asked for a separation or I asked for a split, I think is what his words were. So at some point in time, he got tired of the relationship, whatever it was, and he wanted to go do something else. He asked for that. And he said, during that time, I did things or made decisions, I think he said, that I'm not proud of. So he came, owned up, took accountability. But I don't know if that lends itself to him feeling emasculated. Why would I feel emasculated? I'm a chef. I look good, right? Unless she's saying things and doing things that kind of lead. I mean, this man has the ability, if he wanted to go anywhere and everywhere with her. He can do anything that he wants to do. I don't know why the first thing that we go to is, well, he felt emasculated, so he stepped out. Or maybe there was something in the relationship where he felt like, well, we're just not connecting. I feel like, you know, when we were, like you said, we got married in 2014. We've been together since we were young. I feel like there's some sort of something that's not connecting. Maybe that's why he asked for the split. I don't know. Who knows? But I just don't feel like it's working, right? Somebody put forth, and it was a woman, and said, well, Desmond is a little bit more sensual. Like, he likes romance. And Christy's kind of like, she's kind of goofy, right? So maybe she wanted a little bit more carefree, a little bit more of a carefree element to her life. Whereas Desmond, he might have wanted a little bit more romance in his life. Who knows? I like the comment that somebody said, at the end of the day, we don't know anything. And that's it. We don't know. We don't know. I mean, because we like to, because she's so pretty, we like to say that she was perfect. Or we like to say that Desmond is majority of the problem. Even though he stepped out when he shouldn't have. We got to put that at the forefront. But we like to say, once again, that this woman is perfect. Why would he this, and this? There was a clip that I watched recently that kind of illustrates this point. A woman was married to a man. She turned around to him and said, do you think that Margot Robbie is hotter than I am? And I think they went round and round in circles, basically. And he never really truly answered the question. What he did say was, you know, yeah, she's pretty, but you know, somewhere, some man is tired of her crap. Somewhere, some man, as pretty as she is tired of her crap. That saying goes a long way. Whatever you're doing, whatever you got going on, well, he felt emasculated. Somewhere, some man is tired of her crap. And I'm not saying that she was doing anything wrong. I'm just saying, maybe there was things that we didn't see. That's like, once you hear about it, it's like, okay, yeah, I can see how that's annoying. I can see how you get tired of doing that. But of course, once again, if it's the woman as beautiful as she is, and I think that, you know, that's what people are looking at, and a lot of women are looking at, as beautiful as she is, how could he ever? Somewhere, some man is tired of her crap.
When the knotless braids start coming out at the top, you work harder. That ball is leaning more than you wish your ex-hairline would. Straighten the ball out.
I'm fighting for my life.
Well, call me Mike Tyson. You said you was going to take something off?
My wig?
Yeah. Set it right on the fan. Let it cool down.
We do heavier than that. We're female.
And he in here looking like a highlighter. Get it.
Literally.
Gonna rub my Bible up against you and highlight some verses.
I don't got time today.
Well, I do. I got a watch right here. Move. Add weight to that bar. You was curious. Your name ain't George.
He wants to kill us.
Well, put me in your will. Let me ask you a question real quick. You like watching reruns of shows? Like if you like a show, you'll watch it over and over again? Yeah, because you keep doing the same weight over and over. Was that your last set?
Yes.
Okay, well, you're going to add weight and do it again. Ladies, you feel challenged tonight? Well, keep going. Them bilingual women be lying in 2 different languages. Let's move. I don't know if maybe because you Spanish, you count faster, but that's not 3. I counted for you. Down. 1, 2, 3. It's a lot on the menu, but you don't complain about that at your favorite restaurant, so I don't want to hear it. I don't need you like you on a little pony. You're on a big horse. Giddy up. You like that scary character. Are you making a trip on the highway and not a rest stop? Move. I want a great year. I don't want a good year. I ain't no tire. Oh, she didn't. You ain't forget nothing. You a woman. Women don't forget shit. Can I put your weight away? What the fuck do I look like to you? Alexa? You can't even spell chivalry. You said mind the business that pays me? You do pay me. I got...
This is like, I've seen this outfit 10 million times.
You have not seen this outfit 10 million times. I'm not your ex. I don't wear the same clothes over and over. You're not a Ninja Turtle. Straighten your back. Got a hunch in your back like you from the fucking Notre Dame. You bend over any more than that, I'm gonna think you twerking. Drop the dumbbells softly because they cost $2 a pound. You can't see here. Oh, okay. First appointment of the year for you. Call your optometrist. What, this is like a Camry? What resistance does it say? Okay, so no. Or you had the yellow and the black on there? Did you play for the Steelers?
This man is a menace. You know, kudos to the women for enduring this for what? Probably an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, some of them an hour and a half.
One of the biggest scams I wish more men understood is that if she didn't want you when you didn't have money, she's the worst one you can go after when you finally do. Maybe you can afford her, but that just literally means you can afford for someone to try to come and take the only thing about you that they want, your cash. So why keep chasing these baddies? It's 2026. Maybe we should all learn from the athletes who finally have the stardom, who finally have all this money, notoriety, the spotlight, the attention, and now every baddie is throwing themselves at you. You land one, and guess what? There will be a baby coming up. Why? They got to guarantee the bag, baby. And they got to guarantee the bag long after they're done with you. So why are men out here chasing money so that they can afford the women who don't want them even after they have all of that? I don't know. But I do wish that you'd start to learn your lesson.
You've been married for decades, and I'm going to give you a scenario. You're in the ocean on a boat. It's just you, your wife, your only young child. Your wife and your child get thrown into the water. They're knocked out. You can only save one. The other will die. Who are you saving?
I'm saving my wife for sure.
So if it was me, you gonna let me die?
I would hope maybe I can come back and look for you, but I'm saving my wife for you.
Okay, break it down, please. Because everybody keeps saying to me, Sarah, you ain't never had kids, so you don't know the real answer. I said my husband. Why do you say mom?
Well, because the fact of the matter is, like, I can have more kids, thankfully, but I can never have a queen, another wife, another life partner, and the woman I love, like your mom. I can never have that in another person, even in another person, because there's something special about that one that you truly love, and you would never have that in another person. So she becomes that diamond in the rough, and that's my life partner. That's who God, the Creator, has given me. I honor that, and I know that, yeah, she would be my first priority. And I would try to save the kid too, but she would be my first priority. And that's that.
I'm the same. And I think what I've learned is you just got to be with the same type of person that thinks the way you think. Because for me, order of family is God, my spouse, my children, everybody else.
I'm not going to lie to y'all. Black women are the worst women to date. They're not romantic at all. It's hard to find a black woman these days. A good black woman, that is. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some good black women out there, but they treat being romantic and being in a relationship like a crime. You even see a lot of black women going to other races because as black men, we stand up for ourselves and we don't just take any type of bullshit. And the only thing that we really ask for is simple respect that they can't seem to give us. They feel like simple respect needs to be earned. They put us through this fucking training program that they don't put anybody else through. And it's sad. It's honestly extremely sad. But this is why you see a lot of black men with other races. Anyway, that was just my thoughts for today. I love you. I love all of you. I hope all of you get everything that you want to get out of life. And yeah, peace and blessings.
One of the highest honors that a man can bestow onto a woman is the title of wife. Not every woman wants to be a wife, but they cannot become wives on their own. Somebody needs to ask, right? Now, on the other side of that, one of the highest honors that women can bestow onto men is the title of father. Not every man wants to be a father, but they cannot become fathers on their own. Now that we understand that both of these things are of very high value, ladies, I'm going to need us to raise our standards, because I'm seeing a lot of kids and not a lot of engagement announcements. And that is never something I will advocate for, especially when that saga typically ends with you all coming online to complain to us that the father isn't doing enough, when in reality, he probably didn't want to become a father. And we know that he didn't want you to be his wife. So most of us don't want to hear it. Like, I don't. Y'all got to stop just trusting these men at their word that he said he was going to be around. If he really wanted to, he would have asked you to marry him. And we all know that, apparently, except for you.
You know, Kevin Samuels said something similar. He said, marry before you carry. A lot of women got mad at what he said. You got to be ready for marriage. You have to be ready to carry. You can't just say, okay, let me find somebody that looks good to get married to, and then we're gonna have children, and then we're gonna sell off into the sunset. Next time you see me, it's gonna be at a wedding, and the next time you see me, it's gonna be in a lavish honeymoon, and then the next time we're gonna be announcing our baby, maybe twins, maybe triplets. I don't know. They're gonna have the most excellent life. We're gonna be living in a nice home, driving nice cars, in a nice neighborhood. He gonna be a high-powered VP somewhere making 500 grand a year. And we gonna be doing the thing. That's what y'all want to do. But y'all don't be really vetting the guys. Y'all be picking the first one that gives you bubbles in your stomach, not realizing that's probably diarrhea, right? Kind of take a day or so to think about it. You know, I know he looks good to you on paper, but what he talking about? What he got going on? All right, bet. Look like a good dude, sound like a good dude. Let me take his heel my dad thing. Some man in my life. That's why y'all create so many alliances with women. Oh, we'll just get together with the girlies. Y'all need to be creating an alliance with a man. The only problem is a lot of you don't have nothing to bring to the table, so you can't create an alliance. You're just there to take. So it ain't gonna work. But y'all really need to be creating alliances with dudes so that y'all can pick their brains about who to get with. Hey, what do you think about this dude? Men will do that. Men will help you out, right? Obviously, there's gonna be some dudes that they like you, they trying to get close to you for that. You need to get better. That's one of the life skills that you need to develop. And you need to be able to mitigate that, right? The next thing is create an alliance with these dudes to figure out which dude is good, which dude is playing me, which dude is, he might be a potential person that I can date. And if not, I'm gonna let him go. But if so, I might try to take a chance on him and see where you go from there. Then y'all get married. It's a better chance of y'all being able to work out your differences. Y'all not gonna get away from problems. That's not gonna happen. You in a relationship, you're not gonna get away from conflict. Period. End of story. I don't care how fine he is. I don't care how cute she is, how beautiful, how gorgeous. She got the whole Coke bottle figure. I don't care nothing about that. Y'all gonna have some problems. And y'all gonna be arguing. Y'all gonna get tired of each other. Period. End of story. I don't care how big that house is. Y'all gonna get tired of each other. You need to learn how to handle conflict with each other. Period. End of story. That's it. Don't be going into relationships just because you want to have a family. Don't do that. You need to do the right thing. You need to do your homework on these men and vice versa.